Here is an extremely helpful video for anyone who has never worked with a concrete slab, plumbing, anchor bolts, hold downs. So pay attention before you pour your concrete slab. Make sure that the corners are square. It'll be very easy to just grab a tape measure and measure from this corner to this corner, and then from this corner to this corner. And the measurement should be exactly the same. If it isn't, you're going to have to figure out what the problem is. It's not going to be enough to just simply grab a framing square and check the corner, because you could have the lines going around the perimeter bowed out or curving in, or worse, curving out, curving in, curving out, and then curving back in. And if this line isn't straight, some of your measurements on the interior for plumbing pipes and structural hold downs might not be located in the right spot either. So make sure the perimeter lines are straight and level. And of course, the placement of the anchor bolts is critical. They need to be the correct height and in the correct spot. And that's usually going to be within 12 inches of any break or corner. So that would be within 12 inches of this point here and located in the center. And make sure that they are not going to be in the way of any wall framing studs. And in this example here, we have a full-length board. If you are not going to use a full-length board, then you'll need to put anchor bolts on both sides of the break. But before we get to that, let's take a look at framing a different corner. So here we're using an additional stud, and if the washer or the anchor bolt is going to be located under that framing stud, then I'm going to have to notch the framing stud, and in some cases it will be difficult to nail the framing stud. So make sure you know what types of corners you're going to use and where every single wall framing stud is going to be located. And as far as the height goes, I believe they want to have at least 2 exposed threads above the nut. And since we don't have a long enough board and we are going to need to put a break in here, we're going to need to have an anchor bolt on each side like we have here, or we can relocate the framing break along with the anchor bolts if that's going to work better for our project. And I cannot tell you how critical all of the anchor bolts or hold downs are going to be. Anything that is going into the concrete needs to be double or triple checked. And even though I have rarely had problems with this, I have worked with plenty of problems from a variety of different people who have simply missed these measurements by a small increment. In this house here, we have a piece of stabilizing metal. This will be another thing that will be critical on its location. And next up, plumbing pipes. I cannot stress this enough. And I can tell you that the ones on the inside of the building are probably going to be a little easier to fix than the ones located on the outside if they need to move. Because on the outside of the building, you're just not going to be going through maybe a 4 or 5 inch concrete slab. You could be going through, depending upon where the pipes are located, you could be going through a 24-inch deep footing. That's 15 inches wide. So make sure that all of your electrical, plumbing, anything, like I said, coming out of the concrete needs to be double checked. And I can't stress that enough. And you will learn this lesson the hard way if you're not paying attention to the information in this video. I mean, if you could imagine the toilet pipe being off just a little bit to where the toilet won't be able to be installed because it's too close to the wall or too close to the bathtub or the vanity. And another thing you're going to need to know about will be the bathtub box, something you do not want to forget about, even though you could jackhammer that out a little bit easier if all of the plumbing pipes are located in the right spot and you don't hit any rebar or any type of structural concrete footings, or worse, a post-tension cable. And make sure that all of the pipe components will fit in between the stud bays correctly. For example, this stud bay might need to be a little bit wider to compensate for the crown vent problem that we have currently. That I believe is twice the diameter of the pipe, 2-inch pipe. We need a 4-inch space to prevent the water from draining out of the trap. And even though I'm sharing that with you, I don't think this is going to be a really big problem because this pipe can just simply be moved over a little bit along with the framing stud. And let's go ahead and wrap the video up with a few pictures. Here we have what looks like someone has chiseled out some of the framing plate so that they could install the washer and still end up without two threads exposed above the nut here. So we got a problem here, and then it looks like someone used an extension. And these things, from what I understand, are a big no-no. But as long as your structural engineer and the building department approve it, then you should be okay. Next up, let's take a look at some electrical. Make sure that the pipes coming out of the concrete are in the right spot, along with the anchor bolts, and try to make sure that the framing plates are extended enough to nail the straps to. And I don't see a need for this break here. Especially when it's a small piece of lumber. I do not understand why some builders do things like this. And next up, this might be a good idea, even though I have never saw it done on any of the track homes that I worked on. And I'm guessing this is a piece of wood embedded into the concrete foundation so that it will be easier for the person installing the door threshold to install into wood than it would be into concrete. But what if this piece of wood rots? And shouldn't they have used pressure-treated lumber? And of course, a great way to solve this problem by adding a pipe and going through one of the framing studs. And this looks like a non-load-bearing wall. You can see the structural wall behind it. So instead of just coming down, it looks like they added a 22-degree angle, another 22-degree angle, and then the trap, and then coming up with a 90 into the santee. And I know this house was built in California, and keep in mind most homes in California require a 2-inch vent, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, for the wash machine, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm definitely not wrong about this, where we have a hold down and the anchor bolt is located in the wrong spot. So instead of moving the 4x4 over, which is what I would have done, because it looks like you would only lose about 3/4 of an inch in the length of the structural wall, they just simply left a gap here. And I don't think that's going to make the engineer happy. And here we have a missing anchor bolt within our 12 inches from the outside edge or break. And of course, a good reason why you need to center all the anchor bolts. One of those will be to prevent the washers from protruding past the edge of the framing plate. And at the other end of the same wall, mind you, we have a washer we won't be able to get on unless we do some modifications to the stud. And of course, if the plumbing pipes were located in the wrong spot, you might need to break out the concrete saw and the jackhammer and then dowel into the existing concrete and then re-pour the concrete. And I know I made it sound easy, but in reality, it's going to depend upon when you catch the problem and how much stuff is going to be in the way, like wall framing, rebar, post-tension cables, or even huge structural concrete footings. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button or letting us know in the comment area.